Namaste everyone. In this video, we shall answer a question related to electrolysis of water. This is part of chapter 1 with the name Chemical Equations and Reactions of class 10 CBSE. Let's see what the question says. They have given us a diagram showing the process called electrolysis of water. Electrolysis of water. Look at the experimental setup. So we have a source of electricity, that is DC source, direct current source. There are two rods which are made up of graphite, and they are called as electrodes. The one which is connected to the positive terminal of the battery is called as anode, while the one which is connected to the negative terminal of the battery is called as cathode. So now the question is, what type of reaction takes place here? So the type of reaction that takes place is electrolytic decomposition of water. In fact, the name of the reaction is already given in the question as electrolysis. It can also be called as electrolytic decomposition or electrodecomposition of water takes place. So name of the reaction or type of the reaction is electrolytic decomposition or electrodecomposition. Now, why is it called as electrolytic decomposition or electrodecomposition? Here there is a single product. What is the single product? That is water. Water using electric current or electrical energy splits itself to form hydrogen and oxygen. Now this equation is not balanced. We need to balance it. We can balance it by writing 2 here, as the number of oxygen atoms is 1. Here it is 2. I'll put 2 here. Now oxygen is balanced, hydrogen is imbalanced. So in the reactant side there are 2 hydrogen atoms, 2 into 2, 4. Here 2, so I'll write 2 here. In this way we can balance this chemical equation. Now why is this called as electrolytic decomposition? Because electrical energy is used to break a single reactant into 2 products. That's why this reaction is called as electrolytic decomposition. Now question B, explain why this is an example of endothermic reaction. We know that endothermic reactions are the reactions in which energy is absorbed during the reaction. Energy is absorbed. Here in this reaction, energy is absorbed. Energy is absorbed in the form of electrical energy. In the form of electrical energy. Therefore, the reaction can be called as endothermic reaction. Any reaction in which energy is absorbed is called endothermic reaction. Here the energy is absorbed in the form of electrical energy. Write a balanced chemical equation. We have already written the balanced chemical equation for this reaction, this one, that is 2H2O upon passing electric current decomposes itself to form hydrogen and oxygen. I'm just rewriting what I had written before. This is the balanced chemical equation for the reaction. Now in question D, how are the products tested? What are the products here? The 2 products are hydrogen and oxygen. How are they tested? How do we confirm that one of the products formed is hydrogen? For test for hydrogen, test for hydrogen is called as pop test. Why is it called as pop test? So if you take this test tube where hydrogen is produced, and if you bring a burning splinter, splint is a thin piece of wood. So you can hear a squeaky pop sound. You can hear a squeaky pop sound. So therefore, this test is called as pop test. This pop test or the production of pop sound will confirm the presence of hydrogen in this test tube. So the test for hydrogen is pop test. Now, what is the other product that needs to be tested? That is oxygen. Oxygen can be tested by a test called glowing splint test. Glowing splint test. Splint test. So what is done in this glowing splint test is so first of all, the test tube containing oxygen is taken from the experimental setup. This is the test tube that contains oxygen, and we bring a glowing splint. Glowing splint. Glowing splint means it's like a red hot splint, or an agarbatti which is lighted, okay, which is glowing red in color. So that's a glowing splint. When you bring it near the test tube containing oxygen, this will get reignited. It will get reignited. The glowing splint will get reignited or relighted. It will start burning again. It will start burning again. In this way, you can confirm that the gas in this test tube is oxygen. So glowing splint is the test for oxygen. So we have answered this question D. How are the two products, that is hydrogen and oxygen, tested? Now before electric current is passed through water, few drops of dilute sulfuric acid is added. Why is it added is the question which is asked in question E. So here dilute sulfuric acid will dissociate itself in the presence of water to form hydrogen ions and sulfate ions. Hydrogen ions and sulfate ions. Hydrogen ions and sulfate ions. This is H plus. So I will have to write 2 here. This is H plus. The valency or oxidation number of hydrogen is 1. So I'm just writing 1 here. So the presence of these ions will improve the conductivity of water. That's why few drops of sulfuric acid is added before electrolysis process. So we have answered all the 5 sub questions. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like and share. Thank you again.